Gentlemen, I want you to pause for just a moment and be completely honest with yourself. Have you ever noticed a strange tingling in your feet at night? Maybe your toes feel numb when you get out of bed in the morning? Or perhaps there's a burning sensation, almost like a faint electric shock traveling through your legs. Some men describe it as pins and needles. Others say it feels like walking on hot sand, even when the floor is cold. And if you've experienced this, you may have asked a doctor about it only to hear something like, "It's probably just aging." But let me ask you something important. Since when did aging mean your nerves had to suffer? Because here's the truth most people never hear. Many cases of nerve damage that appear in men over 50 aren't actually caused by age at all. They're caused by something much more dangerous, something hiding in your daily habits, something millions of men unknowingly expose themselves to every single day. And if left unchecked, this silent poison can slowly rob you of the very things you value most: your balance, your independence, your ability to walk confidently, your comfort at night. That's why today's conversation is so important. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the hidden culprit that quietly destroys nerves, and more importantly, what you can do to stop it. But before we go further, let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Jocelyn, and for the past 5 years, I've worked with men facing the frustrating symptoms of nerve damage, tingling feet, numb hands, burning sensations, and balance issues. And I've seen something again and again. Men who believed their nerve pain was permanent, men who thought nothing could be done, only to discover that the real problem was something entirely preventable. Before we dive deeper, do me a quick favor. If you care about protecting your health, tap the like button so more men can discover this information. And I'd love to know something. Leave a comment below telling me where you're watching from: city, country, anywhere in the world. It's always inspiring to see this community of men learning together. And of course, subscribe to the channel because every week I share practical strategies that help men stay strong, mobile, and independent as they age. Now, let's talk about the myth that keeps millions of men suffering silently, because the truth might surprise you. One of the most damaging myths in health today is this: neuropathy is just part of getting older. But that's not entirely true. Yes, the body changes with age. Healing can be slower. Recovery takes patience. But healthy nerves don't simply fail because you had another birthday. When nerves begin to misfire, sending signals like tingling, numbness, or burning pain, something deeper is usually happening inside the body. Let me share a story with you. A patient of mine named Frank, 68 years old, walked into my office frustrated and confused. Frank had always been active. He enjoyed long walks, gardening, and playing with his grandchildren. But over the past year, something strange started happening. Every night, when he lay down in bed, his feet would begin to burn. Not mildly. He described it as like standing on hot coals. Sometimes the pain would shoot up his legs like a quick electric shock. His first doctor told him it might be circulation. Another suggested it was simply normal aging. But Frank didn't feel convinced. And honestly, neither did I. So we looked deeper. We talked about his lifestyle, his diet, his daily habits. And slowly, a pattern began to appear. Frank had unknowingly developed a routine that spiked his blood sugar repeatedly throughout the day. Nothing extreme, no candy binges, no desserts every hour, just everyday habits that seemed harmless. Fruit juice in the morning, cereal for breakfast, snacking throughout the afternoon. By evening, his blood sugar had risen and fallen so many times that his nerves were essentially being bathed in sugar stress all day long. And that's when we discovered the truth. The biggest poison damaging nerves today isn't some rare chemical or toxin. It's something far more common: chronic blood sugar toxicity. And here's the surprising part. You don't have to be diabetic for it to damage your nerves. Millions of people with prediabetes or mild insulin resistance experience nerve damage long before diabetes is diagnosed, which means many men walking around today with tingling feet, burning toes, or numb hands may be experiencing early nerve damage without realizing the cause. To understand why, we need to look at what high blood sugar actually does to nerves. Your nerves are incredibly delicate structures. Think of them like electrical wires inside your body. Each nerve is wrapped in a protective coating called myelin, which helps signals travel quickly and efficiently. When nerves are healthy, messages move smoothly. Your brain tells your feet to move. Your skin tells your brain something is hot or cold. Balance and coordination stay sharp. But when blood sugar remains elevated too often, something dangerous begins happening at the microscopic level. Sugar molecules start attaching themselves to proteins in your body through a process called glycation. This may sound technical, but the effect is simple. It creates inflammation and chemical stress inside tissues, including nerves. Over time, three damaging things begin to occur. First, nerve blood vessels become damaged. Nerves depend on tiny blood vessels for oxygen and nutrients. When those vessels narrow or become inflamed, nerves begin to starve. Second, the protective myelin coating weakens. Without this insulation, nerve signals begin to misfire. That's when sensations like burning, tingling, or numbness appear. Third, the nerve fibers themselves can become irritated and damaged. That's why some men describe neuropathy as sharp stabbing pain, while others experience complete numbness. Now here's the emotional side of this. When nerve damage progresses, everyday life can change in ways most men never expect. Walking becomes uncertain, balance feels unstable, sleep gets interrupted by burning feet. Even standing too long becomes uncomfortable. And slowly, some men begin withdrawing from activities they once loved, not because they want to, but because their body doesn't cooperate anymore. But here's the encouraging truth. If the cause is blood sugar toxicity, then removing the source of the damage can stop the progression. And that brings us to the everyday habits that quietly poison nerves. Mistake number 1, drinking liquid sugar, fruit juice, sweetened coffee, smoothies, even beverages marketed as healthy. The problem is simple. When fruit is turned into juice, the fiber disappears. Without fiber slowing digestion, sugar rushes into the bloodstream extremely fast. For nerves, that sudden spike can feel like chemical stress. Over time, repeated spikes lead to inflammation and nerve irritation. A better option? Eat whole fruit instead. Fiber slows the sugar release and protects your nerves. Mistake number 2, eating carbohydrates alone. Toast for breakfast, cereal with milk, a bowl of pasta by itself. When carbohydrates are eaten alone, they break down quickly into glucose. Blood sugar rises rapidly. But when you pair carbohydrates with protein or healthy fats, digestion slows dramatically. That slower absorption protects nerves from sudden spikes. Mistake number 3, constant snacking. Many people believe frequent snacking keeps metabolism high. But for blood sugar regulation, constant snacking can be problematic. Every snack triggers insulin. When insulin stays elevated all day, the body never gets a chance to reset. For nerves, that means constant exposure to high sugar levels. Spacing meals properly allows the body to recover. Mistake number 4, ignoring key nutrients. Nerves rely heavily on certain nutrients, especially vitamin B12, magnesium, and folate. Without these nutrients, nerve repair becomes difficult. Some medications can reduce B12 levels over time, which is why routine testing can be helpful for older adults. Mistake number 5, sitting immediately after meals. After eating, blood sugar naturally rises, but when you sit still for hours afterward, circulation slows. That means glucose stays elevated longer. A simple 10 to 15 minute walk after meals can dramatically improve how the body processes sugar. And that small movement supports healthy nerve circulation. Now that you know the mistakes, let's talk about what actually protects your nerves. The good news is this: your body has an incredible ability to stabilize and recover when given the right support. Nerves heal slowly, but they respond to healthier conditions. Here are practical steps you can start today. First, balance your meals. Pair carbohydrates with protein or healthy fats. For example, instead of toast alone, add eggs or avocado. Instead of a smoothie, try yogurt with nuts and berries. Second, avoid liquid sugar whenever possible. Choose water, unsweetened tea, or coffee without added sweeteners. Third, support your nerves with key nutrients. Vitamin B12, magnesium, and alpha-lipoic acid are often associated with nerve health. Fourth, move after eating. Even a slow walk around the block helps muscles absorb glucose and lowers blood sugar. And finally, reduce inflammatory foods. Focus on whole foods like vegetables, fish, olive oil, and nuts. These foods help calm the internal environment where nerves live. Small habits may seem insignificant, but over weeks and months, they create powerful changes inside the body. And that brings us to something every man facing nerve symptoms needs to hear. Gentlemen, if you've been dealing with nerve pain, numbness, or tingling, I want you to know something important. You are not powerless. I've seen men feel discouraged when their symptoms appear. Some stop walking as much. Some avoid social activities. Some even fear losing their independence. But nerve damage is not always a one-way road. Stopping the source of irritation can protect the nerves that remain. And protecting those nerves means preserving balance, mobility, and confidence. Start simple. Remove liquid sugar from your daily routine. Pair carbohydrates with protein. Take short walks after meals. Support your body with nourishing foods. These changes may seem small, but they send a powerful message to your body. You are giving it the support it needs to heal. And when men begin making these changes, something interesting happens. Sleep improves, energy returns, balance feels steadier, and confidence slowly comes back. Because vitality doesn't disappear with age. It simply requires smarter care. If this video helped you, please like the video so more men can discover it. Leave a comment below saying, "I'm protecting my nerves," and tell me where you're watching from. And don't forget to subscribe, because every week I share practical health strategies to help men stay strong, independent, and confident as they age. Remember this, gentlemen. Your body is resilient, your nerves are not beyond hope, and the choices you make today can protect the strength and independence you want for tomorrow. I'm Dr. Jocelyn, and I'll see you in the next video.